WWE is afraid of AEW, and I'm not sure why. In 2025, the world of wrestling is full of tribalism, where you're either on one side of the fence or the other, and you don't really see the other team's side. You're either so strictly in favor of WWE that you hate and you won't watch AEW, or the exact opposite, you think AEW is so much superior, so why watch WWE? I've seen it on my videos where anytime I mention AEW, it is the most diverse comment section I have. I'm one of the few people that likes both. I enjoy the storylines and the presentation of WWE, but I also really enjoy the matches in AEW. I think the weekly shows that Monday Night Raw is better than Dynamite, but I think that AEW does the pay-per-views so much better. I personally believe that competition brings out the best of both sides, and that wrestling is better when you have options of choosing what you want to watch. But what's been happening more and more lately is we're seeing that WWE is trying to go out of their way to not only push away fans from AEW, but to limit as many eyes on that program as they can. And from a very general basis, yes, you would want fans to not watch your competition. But at the same time, they've come out and said that AEW isn't even competition. So you can't say they're not competition and then have every action you take show that they not only are competition, but you're afraid of having any fans watch their product. It's like WWE is so afraid of any fan watching AEW and thinking that that's better, and they might change their mind and go to AEW and then leave the WWE. And it would be wrong to say that AEW isn't at fault as well, because they're also in this where they're taking shots at WWE more often on TV than WWE is. And there's been comments from Triple H as well where he said that AEW is quote a piss ant company. And what's been happening lately is counter programming, where one company is going out of their way to book shows at certain dates and certain times to make sure that they draw fans in to avoid watching their competition. And for the most part, this is all WWE is doing. Just to give some recent examples of what's been happening, All In happened in August, and WWE ran the program of NXT Heatwave on the same night. There was rumors of WWE trying to move John Cena's retirement match to counter-program AEW World End in December. And the absolute biggest one, the one spent the most time on, is WWE WrestlePalooza. Now, I do buy Triple H's stance that ESPN wanted to have a pay-per-view in September. They wanted to just run with the pay-per-views right away, and they had booked WrestlePalooza last minute. The date was open. Sure, I totally buy that. But you also can't deny they chose the exact same date that AEW All Out is happening. And for when WrestlePalooza was announced at nighttime, AEW then shifted and moved All Out to an earlier time slot to avoid going head-to-head. And while some people view this as blinking or stepping down from Triple H and the WWE's challenge, he also could view it as we just had All In at an earlier time slot, and we liked the sales, we liked the views we had on that, so why would we not try and have that same success again at the earlier time slot when there's no competition, versus trying to take a stand and go hand-to-head with Triple H and WWE when they're going literally, no pun intended, all out for WrestlePalooza and trying to book it with AJ Lee's return, Brock Lesnar's return, the Usos reunion, and they're doing so much to try and get any viewership away from All Out. And now it's come out from Brian Alvarez, quote, that WWE has reportedly had a lot of discussions about tactics to counter-program AEW in 2026. There are a lot of discussions about what they're going to do head-to-head next. I know when Tony Khan moved All Out, I knew when he blinked it was going to be trouble, and be ready for that in 2026. It's too late to move WrestlePalooza. I actually thought there was a chance that once Tony moved it earlier in the day, that WWE was going to move it earlier as well. Apparently they decided it was too late to do that. They're going to be moving shows, they're going to be doing extra shows to make sure he can't move to an unopposed time. I knew it would happen, and they pretty much have talked about it internally, so that's what's coming up for the next battles. So WWE is really talking about, can we put out extra shows? Can we move shows? Can we change the timing of shows so that AEW will not have an unopposed program? So you're either dead set on killing this company and being the monopoly of wrestling, and there's no other program out there that you don't have your hands in that's going on, or you're so afraid of the product that AEW is putting out there that you know if any one of your fans that is watching a SmackDown weekly but tunes into AEW Dynamite or a pay-per-view and sees the quality of that they're going to stop watching SmackDown, because sometimes SmackDown is just tough to get through. So to watch an AEW Dynamite where there's so many matches, they're announced ahead of time, the action is fast and it's fun and it's unique, it's refreshing, and you might just lose a couple fans. No matter which way this goes, I would hate to see just one company succeed. If AEW were to somehow win, they take over WWE, they're the only wrestling program out there, I would hate that. I said earlier, competition brings out the best in both people. When we had the Wednesday Night Wars with Dynamite and NXT, that's when those shows were at their absolute peak. So I think if even WWE wins and AEW dies, I think that would be awful, because when you have monopolies, you don't have any other option of choosing what you want to watch. You're stuck watching the product, bad or for good. If whatever it is, you can't change their mind because there's no other option. So even if AEW doesn't have the ratings that WWE does, I like having the option to watch something else. else. I like watching more wrestlers. I like to get introduced to new wrestlers because the average age of a WWE card is like 40 years old. I want to see those wrestlers like MJF that are young, entering their prime, and are doing amazing work. But please let me know in the comments section, what are your thoughts on this? Do you like WWE trying to counter program AEW? Do you like if AEW tried to counter program WWE, or should they just leave each other alone and just enjoy what they have and let the fans choose what they think is better for them? And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.